Hey everyone, it's your Sally Coach, and today we'll be doing part D, our experimental control. Now, this is also known as our standard of comparison, and this is going to be our first Division C specific topic. Now, this part is maybe only Division C specific, but even if you are Division B watching this, I think it's important that you do learn this, as some invitationals may accidentally put this on there, and you could get extra points or bonus points for completing these sections. So please watch to the end to figure out what the experimental control is. So this is our standard of comparison. Really, this is our control group, and I'm not sure if you've already learned this in science, but whenever we do an experiment, we're always going to have one control group, which is the most common, most simple, and without any effects given to it. That's our control group. And then the other groups, which is going to be our experimental group, that's going to be our affected group, as in like it's going to have more weight and texture in this circumstance, or it may have more density, something like that. Now, this is the group that's going to be compared to, which is why it's called the standard of comparison, and then we will also be having the experimental control group, like I said before. Now, if we look at our sentence starter, we can have pretty usual, easy words. You know, when I say usual and easy, I mean like we don't really need to change the sentence format. We just need to be talking about what our group is. And even though we can just put down what our group is and just get one, or maybe we may get 1 point, it's best to be specific. So our sentence starter is going to be our standard of comparison is the simplest group. We chose the simplest group because it is the most common subject verb. We're not sure what we're going to put over there just yet. And it has no other effect given to it. Also, the simplest group has no extra qualities to make it stand out. Lastly, we chose this as a reliable benchmark. Reliable benchmark is a very important word to use because that's referring to it as the control group. So we want to use this as our standard of comparison and control group. So we're going to say reliable benchmark because it is relevant to the experimental goal of. So that's going to go back to our entire point of doing this experiment. We're going to go back and remember that we had the topic of aviation and aerodynamics. So that last word is going to be aviation. So looking back at our final sentence, we're going to have our standard of comparison is the plain paper plane. We chose the plain paper plane because it is the most common plane thrown and it has no other effect given to it. Also, the plain paper plane has no extra qualities to make it stand out. Lastly, we chose this as a reliable benchmark because it is relevant to the experimental goal of aviation. So that's going to be it of our standard of comparison. And lastly, I just want to say that this is going to be our control group, and we'll also have our experimental group. So this one is just talking about what is your control group. This is all it's asking for, like what is your plain group, why did you choose it, and that's it. So that's going to be it for our standard of comparison, and then we'll go to part E next. Thank you for listening.